Okay, welcome back. This is Jason Schultz from Five Tails. This week we're getting to the pointy end of what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. And this week we're going to cover off on how to choose the right search term for your local service-based business so that you can really narrow in on exactly how your customers are actually searching for your business. And when you do start to rank for those search terms, they're actually going to generate inquiries for your business so that you're actually heading in the right direction. So the very first week, just to recap, we covered what type of search, and that was really about understanding the different categories of how people actually search on Google. Then in the second week, we covered understanding the different results that Google displays. Really important because there are 3 different ways as a local service business that you can really appear on Google. And then lastly, this week, we've gotten to the juicy stuff, the pointy end, how to choose the right search term. So this little diagram is how I'm going to demonstrate to you how we go about choosing the right search term and how you can really think about it. So there's 3 different things to think about as far as a search term, or 3 main things to think about, and that's what we're going to focus on. And they are the competition level, the search volume, and the value of a visitor for that search term. So you can see here, we're going to start with competition level. So in terms of the competition level, what we mean by that is the difficulty in achieving top rankings. Now, top rankings for a local search result, that's the map pack that we looked at last week, means getting in those top 3 positions, because that's when you're visible. For Google Ads, it means actually appearing in the position you want to appear. That's not necessarily always the first position, but it's appearing within the position you want to appear at a cost that makes sense based on how much profit you're going to get from that particular inquiry. So there's a bit more nuance to it when it comes to Google Ads and competition level. And then with the organic search results, the ones that we saw at the bottom of the screen last week, the more traditional results, it's about getting into the top 3 to 5 positions really. You've probably heard about being on the first page of Google and that's when you're visible. While it's true, people don't really navigate. 2% of people navigate past the first page of your prospective customers. Most people don't even navigate to the bottom of the first page unless they're seeing really poor results. So you really do need to be in the top 3 to 5 positions for that ranking to actually translate into more traffic to your website and therefore more inquiries and more leads. So in terms of competition level, the way to really assess that is to have a look and literally type the search term that you're thinking about into Google, and then assessing just how difficult does that search term look like it's going to be to rank. And the types of things you're looking at, if you're looking at local maps, include the number of reviews, whether the other competitors actually have that search term in their name in the map pack, so whether their Google My Business name actually contains the search term. And the other thing you're looking at is this search term, is the geographical area of the search term not in an area where your business actually covers? Because if it's going to be really, really difficult to rank, if say for instance you're located in Manly and you're trying to rank for a search term on the northern beaches of Sydney, going to be really difficult to rank for that search term in the local maps. Whereas in the organic results, the competition you're really looking at there is, are people actually using that search term, that exact search term, in the title of their page and in their URL? If they are, you know they're probably investing a fairly decent amount of money into SEO, and it's going to be more difficult to overcome them. Next here, and obviously that down arrow, that's really to signify we want as lower competition as possible in balancing that with these other 2. So there's no necessarily 100% right answer, because it does depend on what resources you have available and your skill set in terms of choosing these search terms. So secondly, we've got the search volume, which is the number of inquiries or queries per month, number of queries, per month that search term actually has on Google on average. So if you're not sure and you don't know how to find this number, which is on average the number of people who search that search term per month, you can install a tool called Keywords Everywhere. Literally just type into Google Keywords Everywhere, and you're going to be able to grab a tool that allows you to, for free, see the number of search terms per month for that particular search term on Google. And obviously you're looking for as high a number as possible in balancing with these other 2 factors that we're looking at here in selecting the search term. Because obviously the higher the number of inquiries, and if you are in a position that you're going to be seen, as we saw before, the top 3 to 5 positions for the organic and in the map pack, those top 3 positions, then it's going to translate into a higher volume of traffic. There is no right answer there. And if you do see that the search volume is 0, from time to time it really does take a bit of common sense to determine whether that really means 0 or whether it means it's, a low number, as in less than 10 a month. Because the way that a lot of the tools work in terms of estimating search volume is they just use advertising data from Google and they just feed straight out of that. Then the last factor we want to balance, and we want this to be as high as possible, is the value of a visitor for that search term. So let's say, for example, that you're a house cleaning company and you're targeting the term house cleaning and a location, say Brisbane, for example. House cleaning Brisbane. Now, if your service is a house cleaning in Brisbane and you're targeting the term house cleaning Brisbane, highly likely that service and that value of visitor is going to be quite high to your business. Whereas if you targeted the search term, say, housekeeping Brisbane, very small variation, might be very low competition, still reasonable search volume, say, for example. However, it may be that people who type in housekeeping look for something ever so slightly different in a service than house cleaning, and that's not well suited to the service you offer. Therefore, the value of visit is a bit lower because you would really have to either hope that they've typed in housekeeping and they're really looking for a house cleaning service, because housekeeping may include washing dishes, doing ironing, and therefore you're going to have to talk them or sell them into the service you have rather than it being an ideal phone call or an ideal lead coming through the door on the phone. And so that's why really need to consider the value of that visitor for that search term. And you kind of got to put you've got to put yourself in the shoes of the person who types in that search term and think about what they're looking for. Because, for example, for the search term, and we'll stick with the same example, house cleaning, while it might seem, or even house cleaning service, while it might seem like that person is clearly looking for a house cleaning service, it's really not going to be clear. Are they looking for that in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Perth? They could be looking anywhere in the country, and therefore it may not necessarily be a good idea to go after that search term because it's going to be quite high competition and quite a high search volume, and the prospect who comes via that search term may not even be in the location that you serve, and therefore you cannot serve them. So the value of the visitor is really about putting yourself in the shoes of the person who's done the search term and thinking about what are they actually looking for and how does that match up with your business and the services you offer. And then the other thing to really consider is what sort of profitability did you make on the service that they're coming through, that they're inquiring for. Is it something that it's very easy for you to serve them for, and therefore the profit that you make is quite high? How much labor is actually involved in that? If you do have staff and you've got contractors or subcontractors working, what sort of labor is actually involved in that? And really sort of figuring out, right, well, based on this many inquiries, I know that my net profit is going to be roughly this based on an average number. And, for a lot of people, when we talk to a lot of customers and clients, we're really trying to, in some instances, if we are getting to the granular detail, figure out what's an average customer worth to you for each of your services. Now, that exercise can be quite difficult sometimes, but really what you're trying to get to is a number. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's right 100% of the time, but having a number in your head allows you to make decisions a lot faster when it comes to things like deciding what search terms to target or what advertising avenues are going to work for your business. So this has been a 3-part summary. I hope it's been really helpful. I hope it's given you an understanding of how to actually select the search terms that are right for your business. And it really is something that you can learn, you can get an understanding of, and it is really going to gear you up or tool you up in order to be able to make some decisions and evaluate whether the search terms that maybe have been selected for you in the past or whether the search terms you believe are going to be useful for your business are actually useful. So again, hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch these 3 videos in this series. My name is Jason Schultz with 5 Tails. If you've got any questions at all, or if you'd just like to have a chat to us and find out how we might be able to help your business or get an understanding of what search terms might be right for your business and what strategy might be right as far as search goes, by all means pick up the phone and give us a call, and more than happy to have a chat with you. Thanks very much.